While some vows crumble under serious strain, others shatter because someone clapped on a landed plane or wore unholy socks. Dive into the uniquely American spectacle of breakups, where true love gets torpedoed by dawn yoga, relentless TikToks, or actual snakes sharing the sheets. These aren't mere divorces. They're masterclasses in what not to do, served up in 49 delightfully unhinged episodes. 1. The subscription avalanche. His penchant for signing up for every conceivable service became her exit strategy. It wasn't just a couple of unused streaming platforms. We're talking snack boxes forming edible mountains, monthly sock deliveries threatening to engulf their closet, and, bizarrely, a deluxe apocalypse survival kit. As their budget bled out, the thought of rationing artisanal socks while fending off radioactive mutants was apparently the final straw. She wasn't just unsubscribing from magazines, she was unsubscribing from him. 2. The snack snatcher's spouse. Imagine the quiet desperation. You buy your favorite cookies, tuck them away, only to find an empty wrapper and a suspiciously crumb-dusted husband. This wasn't sharing. This was a one-man locust swarm in human form. Her solution to his relentless snack piracy? Divorce. One has to wonder if her wedding vows included to have and to hold, and to not eat all my damn chips. He didn't just get half the assets. He probably got a lifetime supply of her hidden Oreos. 3. The vision board dictatorship. His wife's love for vision boards went from quirky hobby to oppressive life-planning regime. Every decision, from vacation spots to the ideal thread count for their sheets, was preordained by a collage of magazine clippings. When she presented a color-coded Gantt chart for optimized marital arguments, he realized his own future wasn't just unvisualized, it was untenable. He opted out before she could add amicable divorce to her 5-year plan, complete with inspiring quotes. 4. The cat came first. When the feline member of the household starts receiving better birthday presents, more attentive spa days, still unclear what that involves for a cat, and significantly more gourmet meals than you do, it's perhaps a sign. She realized her husband's affection hierarchy placed her somewhere below cat and slightly above houseplant. The cat likely got upgraded to her side of the bed the day she moved out, probably purring with smug satisfaction. 5. The tinfoil hat. Husband. Dinner conversations revolving around alien overlords, reptilian politicians, and the irrefutable proof that the moon landing was faked by Stanley Kubrick eventually wore her down. She craved the simple comfort of Netflix and a shared pizza, not nightly lectures on how chemtrails were controlling their minds. When he started eyeing the pigeons with suspicion, she knew it was time to beam herself out of that relationship. 6. The micro-milestone marathon. His wife had an unparalleled talent for turning the mundane into a monumental celebration. Happy 11-day anniversary of us successfully changing that light bulb. Cue the party poppers. It's been exactly 6 weeks since we bought this brand of toilet paper. Let's commemorate. The sheer volume of mandatory mini-celebrations became exhausting. He eventually realized his life had become a never-ending series of participation trophies for existing. 7. Bowled over by obsession. His love for bowling transcended mere hobby and became a consuming passion, complete with a pet name, Gloria, for his favorite ball and a wardrobe consisting primarily of bowling shirts. She found herself competing for attention with a polished sphere and the allure of a perfect 300 game. When Gloria got a custom-drilled carrying case and she got forgotten anniversaries, the writing was on the lane. He's probably still aiming for strikes, blissfully unaware his marriage guttered out. 8. The spider standoff. A common household arachnid became the 8-legged catalyst for a divorce. His refusal to play exterminator, to vanquish the tiny terror, was apparently an unforgivable offense. Did she expect him to suit up like a superhero and engage in a dramatic battle to the death? One pictures him, armed with a glass and a piece of paper, trying to reason with the spider. Look, mate, my marriage is on the line here. Could you just scuttle off peacefully? The spider probably had better conflict resolution skills. 9. The symphony of stench socks. His unwavering devotion to a pair of unwashed, lucky socks worn daily for their alleged fortune-bestowing properties, created an olfactory assault his wife could no longer endure. These weren't just socks. They were a biohazard with a superstitious backstory. His argument that they helped him find good parking probably didn't hold up against her desire for a home that didn't smell like a forgotten gym bag. Romance withered in the face of such potent foot funk. 10. The midnight TikTok takeover. Her habit of blasting TikTok videos at full volume while in bed, effectively turning their shared sanctuary into a 2 a.m. disco of trending sounds and viral dances, led him to seek solace elsewhere. Sleep became a forgotten luxury, replaced by the inescapable cacophony of her phone. Even the TikTok algorithm probably felt a pang of sympathy for his eardrums. He left, presumably in search of a partner whose nighttime routine involved more silence and less lip-syncing. 11. Polly wants a pillow. His suggestion that their pet parrot join them in the marital bed was, shall we say, a conversation stopper. Sharing your life is one thing. Sharing your duvet with a creature that can mimic your snores and potentially comment on your nocturnal habits is quite another. The wife, understandably, saw this as a red, or perhaps green depending on the parrot flag, and promptly flew the coop. The parrot is probably still asking, "Where'd she go? Where'd she go?" 12. The viral vitriol. When every marital spat, no matter how trivial, becomes fodder for your spouse's TikTok channel, complete with dramatic reenactments and calls for followers to choose a side, the relationship is probably on its last algorithm. He found his private life being broadcast for likes and shares, his every misstep a potential trending topic. POV. He loaded the dishwasher wrong again, what your toxic marriage isn't exactly conducive to reconciliation. He logged off the marriage for good. 13. The cardboard competition. Bringing home a life-sized cardboard cutout of a celebrity heartthrob is one thing. Insisting it have a permanent seat at the dinner table, its own seatbelt in the car, and receive nightly goodnight whispers is grounds for concern and apparently divorce. He quickly realized he was in a love triangle where his rival was literally two-dimensional and perpetually smiling. Some battles, you just can't win, especially against silent, glossy perfection. 14. The never-ending theme party. Her insistence that they dress as famous TV couples every single weekend started as a quirky adventure and devolved into a sartorial nightmare. While playing Lucy and Ricky for a night might have been fun, finding himself forced into a Fred Flintstone costume for the umpteenth Sunday barbecue, complete with a plastic club, lost its charm. He wanted a partner, not a live-in costume director demanding weekly character immersion. Yabba dabba don't. 15. The Attenborough antagonist. Living with a spouse who narrates your every action in the style of a wildlife documentary. Here we observe the female of the species attempting to assemble flat-pack furniture. Notice the telltale signs of frustration. Can, it turns out, wear thin. What began as an amusing quirk became an inescapable running commentary on his existence. He eventually decided he preferred his life unnarrated, particularly the chapter titled His Solitary Search for a New Apartment. 16. The medieval lockout. His decision to replace all functional doorknobs with cumbersome, medieval-style handles requiring massive, clanking keys turned everyday life into an escape room challenge. Simply getting into the bathroom became a feat of engineering and patience. Her suggestion of a locksmith was met with his insistence on embracing the period authenticity. She chose to authentically embrace the exit, presumably through a door that opened with a simple twist. 17. The dance-off divorce. Her newfound obsession with mastering every viral TikTok dance, coupled with an unwavering insistence that he join in, proved to be a fatal misstep for their marriage. There's likely a deeply embarrassing video out there, featuring him attempting a complex series of moves with the enthusiasm of a condemned man, that serves as Exhibit A in their divorce proceedings. Some choreographies are best left to those with rhythm and a willing spirit. 18. The chicken coup d'etat. The romantic notion of fresh backyard eggs quickly soured when his wife's acquisition of 15 chickens led to a full-blown avian invasion of their suburban home. Chickens on the furniture, chickens in the hallway, and, memorably, a chicken attempting to share his shower was not part of his marital vision. He didn't sign up to be a part-time rooster wrangler in a house that increasingly resembled a chaotic poultry exhibit. 19. The Oracle of Indecision. His reliance on a magic 8-ball to make every single life decision, from major financial investments, signs point to yes, maybe, to what to have for dinner, reply hazy, try again, eventually eroded her patience. Living a life dictated by the random pronouncements of a plastic toy filled with blue liquid is a unique form of torture. She finally asked the 8-ball if she should leave, then wisely decided to answer that one herself. 20. The duvet domination. The nightly, silent war for control of the bed covers, a battle she almost invariably won with ruthless efficiency, left him cold, literally and figuratively. He'd awaken shivering, a mere sliver of blanket clutched in his fist, while she slept soundly, cocooned in a fortress of warmth. He decided that perpetual hypothermia was too high a price for matrimony. He now probably sleeps with a heated blanket, reveling in his newfound thermal sovereignty. 21. The canine coronation. When the family dog starts receiving birthday parties more elaborate than most human children, being exclusively addressed in a cooing baby voice and ferried about in a dedicated stroller, it might be a sign that priorities have shifted. His wife's devotion to their pampered pooch reached a tipping point when she suggested they all attend doga, yoga for dogs and their owners. He opted for sofa, sitting on it, alone. 22. The swashbuckling spouse. Her husband's sudden and inexplicable adoption of pirate slang as his primary mode of communication, while perhaps amusing for an afternoon, became grating over months. Being asked to hoist the mainsail when she was just trying to open a window, or being called a lily-livered landlubber for misplacing the TV remote, lost its charm. She decided she'd rather walk the plank into singledom than endure another "shiver me timbers" at breakfast. 23. The cryptocurrency cult. His descent into the all-consuming world of cryptocurrency transformed him from a loving partner into a walking, talking Bitcoin evangelist. Every conversation, regardless of the initial topic, inevitably swerved into passionate diatribes about blockchain technology, the future of NFTs, and the vital importance of hodling. She wanted pillow talk, not portfolio analysis. He's probably still refreshing CoinMarketCap while she's enjoying a diversified portfolio of peace and quiet. 24. The Coupon Crusader's conquest. His obsession with coupons and discounts permeated every aspect of their lives, turning romantic dinners into elaborate scavenger hunts for the best deal and vacations into exercises in extreme frugality. She yearned for spontaneity and genuine affection, not a relationship where every gesture of love was measured in loyalty points and percentage savings. She decided she was worth more than a BOGO offer. 25. The Heisenberg husband. His insistence on peppering every conversation with lines from Breaking Bad, often delivered with a misplaced sense of gravitas, went from quirky to deeply unsettling. Being told, "I am the one who knocks," when he was just answering the door for the pizza delivery guy was one thing. When he started referring to their kitchen as the lab, she knew it was time to break bad from the relationship. She wanted a husband, not a wannabe meth kingpin. 26. The Dawn Yoga divorce. His marital bliss was shattered, or rather stretched into oblivion, when his wife began rousting him at 5 a.m. for mandatory yoga sessions. Sun salutations before the actual sun had even considered waking up were apparently not part of their prenuptial agreement. Breathe in and hold your resentment, he probably muttered under his breath. She's now perfecting her warrior pose in serene solitude, while he's blissfully reacquainted with the snooze button and the concept of REM sleep. Some find enlightenment in downward dog. He found it in divorce court. 27. The air guitar annulment. One woman finally pulled the plug on her marriage because her husband's air guitar habit had escalated from an occasional quirk to a full-blown, never-ending imaginary rock concert. Every car ride became a stadium tour. Every commercial jingle an opportunity for an epic, albeit silent, solo. She wanted a life partner, not a mime pretending to be Eric Clapton in their living room. He's probably still out there, shredding invisible strings at open mic nights. No one asked him to play, dreaming of a world tour that exists only between his ears. 28. The plate pirate parting. A man divorced his wife over her incorrigible habit of eating directly off his plate at restaurants. Every meal out devolved into a tense battle of forks, a culinary Cold War fought over shared appetizers and coveted last bites. "Order your own damn fries" was likely a frequent, if unspoken, plea. The final, unforgivable transgression? She consumed the last sacred bite of his cheesecake, that one perfect morsel he'd been strategically saving. Some betrayals are just too deep. He now dines alone, his entrees blissfully unmolested. 29. The dishwasher surveillance split. His willingness to contribute to household chores apparently didn't extend to being secretly filmed and critiqued on his dishwasher loading technique. His wife, in a move that screams trust issues, installed hidden cameras to monitor his every rinse and rack. She even provided him with performance reviews, complete with slow-motion replays of his errors. He didn't sign up for a marriage that felt like a competitive reality show judged by an overly critical spouse. She's probably still analyzing the footage, looking for further infractions. 30. The toilet paper tube tirade. The marriage unraveled, one empty cardboard tube at a time. His wife's consistent failure to replace the toilet paper roll, leaving him in a state of perpetual bathroom-based peril, finally pushed him over the edge. It wasn't just an oversight, it was a lifestyle. Somewhere, he's now living a life of luxurious, fully stocked toilet paper dispensers, where the dreaded sight of a naked spindle is but a distant, traumatic memory. The simple pleasures, right? 31. The rock-paper-scissors rupture. What began as a playful way to make minor decisions spiraled into a high-stakes, finger-contorting method for resolving every single aspect of their shared life. Dinner choices, vacation destinations, even significant furniture purchases were all determined by the luck of the draw, or, more accurately, the throw. He finally decided he'd had enough of his future being decided by a game of chance and opted for a more predictable, less geologically influenced existence. Enough was enough when best 2 out of 3 determined their mortgage rate. 32. The 10-minute text tantrum. A woman filed for divorce because her husband failed to respond to her text message within 10 minutes. 10. Whole minutes. One can only imagine the lawyer's bemused expression. "Ma'am, perhaps he was indisposed. In a meeting? Driving?" "Irrelevant," she likely shrieked. If the speed of text replies is a cornerstone of marital stability, this union was built on digital quicksand. She probably had his last seen online status bookmarked. 33. The Bachelor betrayal. Her husband's devout, almost religious commitment to watching The Bachelor every Monday night, complete with hushed reverence during rose ceremonies and audible gasps at dramatic revelations, became a point of contention. "I thought I married a grown man, not a Chris Harrison fanboy," she reportedly lamented. He's probably still hosting solo viewing parties, meticulously analyzing who will receive the final rose, blissfully unaware he lost his own leading lady. 34. The amateur magician annulment. She filed for divorce after his insistence on performing amateur magic tricks at every single family gathering became an unbearable social ordeal. The dreaded phrase, "pick a card, any card," haunted her weekends. Tired of forced smiles and feigned amazement at his less-than-magical illusions, she performed her own disappearing act. Right out of the marriage, before he could make another rabbit, or their savings, vanish. 35. The serpentine slumber party. A man decided his marriage had hissed its last when his wife insisted their pet snake be allowed to share their bed. Waking up to find a cold, scaly reptile coiling under the covers was, unsurprisingly, not conducive to romantic bliss or restful sleep. He began to fantasize about a life with warm, fluffy blankets and a distinct lack of nocturnal, slithering bedfellows. The snake probably got to keep his side of the bed. 36. The feline overlord eviction. He cited too many cats, specifically around 25 of them, as the reason for divorce. His poignant summary? "I felt like a guest in their kingdom." Let's be brutally honest, buddy. You were merely a tenant in their furry, purring empire from day one. Imagine trying to navigate your own home. avoiding a minefield of cat toys and strategically placed hairballs, while constantly being judged by 50 beady eyes. He didn't leave the cats. He escaped their benevolent dictatorship. 37. The food blog. Fiancé fallout. One couple's romantic dinner dates devolved into elaborate food blog photo shoots. While she craved candlelight, intimate conversation, and perhaps even eye contact, he was preoccupied with achieving the perfect overhead shot of his avocado toast for Instagram. "The lighting just isn't right for this heirloom tomato salad," he'd lament. She finally decided she'd rather enjoy her meals unphotographed and her companionship uncurated, telling him, "Enjoy your likes. I'm enjoying my freedom." 38. The infomercial implosion. A man walked away when his wife's obsession with purchasing items from late-night infomercials turned their home into a cluttered warehouse of mostly unused, as seen on TV, gadgets. Their living room overflowed with miracle mops, ab enhancers still in their boxes, and a bewildering array of kitchen contraptions. Even the cozy embrace of a shared Snuggie couldn't mend the rift caused by a house drowning in impulse buys and the relentless siren song of 24/7 shopping channels. 39. The selfie sabotage. She left him because of his steadfast refusal to participate in selfies with her. Every picturesque vacation backdrop, every romantic sunset, every celebratory moment, her camera roll featured her, solo. His aversion to being digitally captured alongside her became a symbol of a larger disconnect. "If you're not in the picture, you're not in my life," was her ultimatum. He's probably now enjoying his anonymity, blissfully unaware of the perfectly angled shots he's missing out on. 40. The horoscope hegemony. He divorced her because every single life decision, no matter how minor, had to be vetted and approved by her horoscope app. "Mercury is in retrograde, so we absolutely cannot sign that lease today," she'd declare with unwavering certainty. While he didn't mind a bit of casual stargazing, having their future dictated by algorithmically generated celestial advice became too much to bear. He wanted a partner, not a puppet of planetary alignments. 41. The office overload. She filed for divorce because her husband's inability to stop quoting lines from The Office had infiltrated every aspect of their lives. Serious discussions about finances would be derailed by an ill-timed "that's what she said." Attempts at romantic gestures were met with Michael Scott impersonations. She probably reached her breaking point when he tried to Dwight Schrute his way out of doing chores. It was less happily ever after and more assistant to the regional divorcee. 42. The transatlantic accent affectation. A guy packed his bags after his wife, following an intense binge watch of The Crown, adopted a full-time, vaguely British accent. "Could you pass the biscuits, love?" and "right then, time for a cuppa" became her standard parlance. By week 2 of her inexplicable transformation into a minor royal, he was dreaming in subtitles and yearning for the familiar twang of her actual voice. Even Netflix couldn't have prepared him for this level of immersive character commitment. 43. The coffee prohibition. A man ended his marriage when his wife banned coffee from their home due to her alleged dislike of its aroma. He found himself sneaking out for his morning caffeine fix like a clandestine operative on a mission for Starbucks. Her attempts to introduce herbal coffee substitutes were met with quiet despair. A life without the rich, invigorating scent of freshly brewed coffee was, for him, a bleak and intolerable prospect. He chose beans over betrayal. 44. The pyramid scheme predicament. A man divorced his wife after she became deeply embroiled in a pyramid scheme and relentlessly attempted to recruit everyone she knew, including, reportedly, the judge presiding over their divorce hearing. "Your Honor, this isn't just a marital dissolution, it's a groundbreaking business opportunity," she allegedly pitched. Even the allure of becoming her own boss and achieving financial freedom couldn't save their marriage from collapsing under the weight of multi-level marketing. 45. The movie quote, matrimony. She left him after his personality became entirely subsumed by an endless stream of movie quotes. Every conversation felt like an audition, every interaction a scene from a forgotten film. "Here's looking at you, kid," over breakfast, or "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," when asked about his day, grew tiresome. Her life had become a low-budget, never-ending movie marathon with a co-star who refused to break character. She just wanted the end credits to roll. 46. The emoji overdose annulment. She divorced him for his excessive, almost pathological use of emojis in every text message. What was once a cute shorthand became an incomprehensible barrage of tiny pictograms. Hey babe, kiss, rocket, snake, pizza, heart, fire. Might have been charming initially, but deciphering his daily emoji hieroglyphics became a chore. She craved actual words, not a visual puzzle. She's now living an emoji minimalist lifestyle, while he's probably still trying to convey complex emotions with a string of smiling poops and clapping hands. 47. The Taylor Swift lyric lunacy. One guy filed for divorce after his wife began communicating exclusively through Taylor Swift lyrics. Every disagreement turned into a dramatic ballad, every request a catchy chorus. When we are never ever getting back together. Transitioned from a song on the radio to a literal statement during an argument about whose turn it was to do laundry. He knew the relationship had hit its final bridge. Even Taylor herself might have suggested therapy. 48. The inflatable furniture fiasco. He divorced her after she, in a misguided attempt to keep things fun and spontaneous, replaced all their solid, dependable furniture with inflatable versions. Their home became a symphony of squeaks, hisses, and the ever-present threat of sudden deflation. The precise moment the inflatable bed catastrophically popped mid-slumber, sending them both tumbling to the floor, was likely the moment he knew their marriage, much like their mattress, was full of hot air and ultimately unsustainable. 49. The applause-related aversion. A man reportedly left his wife because she had the audacity to clap when their airplane landed. Yes, the polite, often reflexive applause that sometimes ripples through a cabin upon a safe arrival. He found this act too embarrassing to endure. Sir, if a little communal appreciation for not plummeting from the sky is your breaking point, life is going to present you with some truly monumental challenges. One shudders to think of his reaction at a birthday party or a wedding. And with that, we close a jaw-dropping volume of Yep, That's Why They Got Divorced, featuring everything from snakes in the bed to inflatable furniture failures. Now it's your turn. What's the most gloriously ridiculous, wildly petty, or brutally bizarre breakup excuse you've ever heard? Or maybe used? Drop it in the comments because, let's be honest, we're all here for the dysfunction. And if these stories made you feel better about your own love life, hit like, smash subscribe, and buckle up. The next batch of chaos is coming.